Bring it on.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Do you want the whole truth? I don't think you're ready.
Governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people.
It's Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome back. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth AFR Talk. All right, are you really doing the cold medicine, Crane? No. Homie, don't play that. And it is interesting because we have a lot to get to this segment as we do. We try to jam-pack as much as we can for you on your drive home or at the end of the day or maybe the beginning of your night in the case of work. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth. We move now to a story of star power. When in doubt, when everything else has failed, what must you do? Bring in the celebrities. And that's what President Obama has done and continues to do. In fact, CBS this morning was highlighting this in their push of highlighting how celebrities have been speaking out for Obamacare. And, of course, we now have Bill Clinton, the star power of Bill Clinton, selling it as well. Number one, when it comes to celebrities, I think what we've seen mainly is a bunch of leftists that are totally out of touch with what we identify with on a daily basis and oftentimes just mock it. They are far leftist, knee-jerk folks who maybe really like to get their name in the paper thinking they're doing something good. They're misguided. And remember, they have an entire industry putting out that they're not only great actors, which many of them are, but they're incredibly intelligent and very well informed, experts, if you will. And oftentimes they're not challenged on what they believe. Now, I say that because when I hear these ads, I think to myself, you have to be so uninformed. You have to have an infant's view, or excuse me, it's an infantile response, and it is to the degree that you have no clue of what you're talking about. Because the only place you're going to really hear these arguments for the Affordable Care Act that are coming out of the mouths of these celebrities I'm about to play for you, courtesy of Newsbusters, is on a playground. Because they're one-liners that, well, I'm going to allow you to judge for yourself. You're going to hear the celebs talk about this, including Will Ferrell and Jane Crawford doing some voiceover work there. And that, of course, is the CBS News reporter. And then she will talk about some people speaking to Obamacare. Big star power is really Will Ferrell here. At the end, you'll hear a GPS ad, Crossroads GPS, attacking Obamacare. And then, well, roll it.
During the healthcare debate, a cast of celebrities from the website Funny or Die turned out edgy videos supporting the president's initiative.
Why is Obama trying to reform healthcare when insurance companies are doing just fine, making billions of dollars of profit?
Other videos lampooned opponents of the president's healthcare plan.
I can't afford insurance, but that doesn't mean I want the government to make it affordable.
Now, the Obama administration is asking Funny or Die, started by comedian Will Ferrell, to create videos to help build support for a law many polls show is deeply unpopular. President Obama has enlisted other celebrities. Singer Katy Perry retweeted a Barack Obama tweet to her 42 million followers. Even the Super Bowl champs, the Baltimore Ravens, will lend their support. Republicans who are trying to stall the law's rollout are fighting back.
At Obamacare, we believe in saying the words affordable health care so that young people will love us and sign up like lemmings.
Yeah, and then after that, as Newsbusters points out, they bring up Bill Clinton's star power, so it's always tilted toward the celebrity. So during the debate, they did it. Now they're doing it again, and they're bringing in the great salesman, Bill Clinton. A couple things on Bill Clinton. One, he's not the greatest salesman without the press carrying his water. The man lied to the American people. And while he can seem to be a nice guy, the man has a record on foreign policy that was in question, to say the least. Not only that, Sandy Berger, his guy Sandy Berger, went into the National Archives and cut up some of the documents. Remember that? Yeah. And during the entire Clinton era, remember what we heard was it was the mean, nasty Republicans who were trying to impeach him for something that was based on physical relations, and it shouldn't have anything to do with his personal life. They carried the water for the man. Then they take his economic legacy and they tell us, oh, it's so good. But they don't really mention the fact that that only took place because of the Republican Congress that came in, not about R's or D's, but I got to tell the truth on this. Clinton delayed and stalled a recovery that he won the election, and then embraced welfare reform after 3 times, which proved to be incredibly effective until it was watered down by the administrations since, and he also welcomed in 2 tax cuts. Strong dollar. These are not policies that we've seen out of the left, yet that is the creation known as Bill Clinton of how powerful he is. I want you to think about that when you think about political power. When you think about, oh, these people are unbeatable, or they're just too good. No, they're not. They've got a big team that's doing a lot of work for them, and what's happening is that's starting to change, because what's penetrating that environment is a new media that is either fair and balanced or comes from a conservative point of view that points out how ridiculous some of the ideas have and continue to be. But the American people are not on board with Obamacare. They never have been, really. Over 50% have always opposed it in some way. And the other point is that 54%, according to the Investors Business Daily poll, 54% of Americans want lawmakers to either delay it or prevent it from taking effect, and use every opportunity to do so. Not fans of it. A recent study came out by the Kaiser Group, and the Kaiser Foundation found that in premiums, here's the headline, premiums won't increase as much as the CBO said they would. Why didn't they compare before Obamacare was passed and the premiums versus afterwards? No, they don't do that. But nevertheless, they got 24% on average. 24% increase in premiums. See, this is the story. When you cut through, oh, I don't want insurance companies to make a profit. What? How asinine is that? I mean, that kind of knee-jerk. They're counting on you hating insurance companies enough that you'll welcome in the government that will take the profit completely out of healthcare and move to a single payer. That's the decision you make. And they think you're that stupid. That's how ridiculous it is. Thank you, Will Ferrell. If you're going to engage in the debate, come on my show. We'll do an hour on it. It'll be fun. It'll be respectful. That said, we have the likes of the Kaiser Foundation coming out, 24%. But in other places, we see it's much greater than 24% in the increase in premiums. According to the Investors Business Daily, New Mexico will experience an average of 130% increase in premiums. Vermont, 97%. South Dakota, 83%. 59%. By the way, the CBO, since they wanted to go by the CBO, was, 100% off on the cost of Obamacare, because they had to do the double counting, the formula. They had to use the formula of President Obama. See, this thing's a turkey. It always has been. American people were never convinced, and that's part of the reason that we're experiencing what we're experiencing with the vote in Congress coming up on the Syrian strike. It is because the president has no credibility. He's not interested in changing your mind. He's interested in getting it done. He doesn't understand our process. For Durham's Nothing But Truth, AFR Talk.